Hey there, I'm Karen McCarthy, independent designer for Chalk Couture, and I'm just going to show you another winter project. A couple of days ago, I made this using a Dollar Tree snowflake that's real thin wood. I'm going to make a matching or coordinating one, I guess you would say, and then show you how we can do double duty. So I'm going to put it down like this. The first thing I'm going to do, and I hope I don't make a mess, I've not done this on a video before. I'm gonna get some, well, I thought I was going to. I'm going to get some wood stain, just a little bit. And I'm just gonna go around the edges, just real lightly, just to give it that kind of distressed, aged look. Last time I did this with a cloth that was kind of dried out, so it's going to be a little bit darker, unfortunately. But I had used the cloth for something else and then thought, oh, what I need to do is get some ink or something like that and use it with a little sponge or something. That works better. But since I don't have it, and since it's really nasty out, I don't want to go driving and get some. I'm just going to do it this way. If I decide I don't like it, I can repaint the edges and just do it later again. So just getting just a little bit around the edges. This board is warped a little bit. It's not going to matter when it's hanging, but it does make it a bit challenging right now because it springs up on me. I got a little bit more distressing there than I wanted, but let's see if I can hold it this way. So if you're not in Anaconda and you're watching, let me know where you're watching from. We're getting dumped on snow-wise. I had to go out a little while ago. Got my hair cut finally, yay. I feel so much better. And the side streets, oh my goodness. I have a car that handles the snow pretty well. But there would be places where people were stuck and other people were trying to get them out and the whole road was blocked. I think I had to make like 4 or 5 detours just to get to where I was going. I felt so bad for people. Okay, I'll put just a little bit on the surface itself here, just to, okay. And now make sure I don't have any on still. I think I'll take my wet wipe and make sure I don't have any on so I get it where I don't want it. Let me put the lid on that real quick. I used to have like a little acrylic paint I could use for this too, but I'm out of that also. Okay, I want to get, there's the hole. So I want it on the top. I don't know how many times I've done things upside down, especially on a picture frame. You just sit it down, start working, and you lift it up and go, oh, well, now I've got to flip everything around on the back. So I've got, this one says, Too Cold to Care, and I have got someplace here. now I have to find it because I moved I was going to do Ready Set Snow, but it's going to be quite a bit bigger as far as word wise, so I'm going to do Stay Cozy. I think this one is a couple years old, but if you're around Anaconda and you love something that I'm doing, even if it's retired, you can use mine. I have workshops and you can use my transfers. So I'm going to peel that off. That is super, super sticky. They are self-sticking so that we can use them over and over, but we don't want it, especially this is a painted surface and I didn't seal it. I should have probably sealed it. But then I have to take it outside to spray it and I didn't want to go outside. So I'm just going to fuzz this several times. That just gets some lint on the back so it doesn't stick so much to the surface. When we wash it, the lint comes right off and the sticky comes back. It's going to take quite a few. When we get done, I just take this over to the sink, wash it off. I have what we call board erasers. I showed that in a video that I did earlier today. And those work great. I mean, they'll get, even some of the chalks that want, or the paste that wants to stain, they'll get most of that stain off. The stain does not affect how well the surface works. It's just for OCD people like I can be, it just doesn't look as pretty. All right, I'm gonna do one more. Usually don't have to do it this much, but since it's a painted surface, And this was super sticky, which is what we want. Then we can use it even more. Okay, and it may still peel up a little bit of paint that will stick to the transfer part, or yeah. And that's okay. It doesn't affect how it works. Now let's see, did I do this crooked? No, I did it straight. So I'm going to try to put this on as straight as I can. Try to center it as best I can. And then I'm just going to smooth out all of the air bubbles. I'm not going to, the teal part, I'm not really going to worry about sticking all of that down, just right around the letters, because it doesn't need to be stuck down, just the transfer part, or right around the silk screen. And that way I don't have as much that's going to peel up paint. All right, and then I did the lettering in black on my other one. So I've got my chalk paste here, and I'm just going to scoop some up, dab it on here, and then holding it almost vertical, I'm going to work it through till I don't see any of the white. I just see black and the design showing through the black, or the words, I guess I should say. Super fast. The chalk paste will dry fairly quickly, so when you're new, you want to move fairly quickly and then take off any of the extra. If you're moving slowly, leave the extra on. It'll keep it from drying out. I'm going to lift it from the corner, but I'm going to come over to the middle, because if I lift up totally from the corner, you know, like the bias on fabric, well, it'll stretch. It could distort the transfer. I'm just going to pull it up. I had a little spot here that did not, looks like I didn't get it sealed down. I can go back later and fix that. Let me see if I can get a little bit of it up right now. Because I didn't seal this, it might stain. I might need to just paint around it. Yeah, I'm going to be better off just painting around that, so I'll go back and touch that up in a little bit. And then I did snowflakes with teal. And I forgot to bring a lot of snowflakes over, so let me grab, I'm going to grab this. It's just a snowflake pattern. You can use it as a background. You can use it, I'm going to fluff down here because I don't want to put it on top of this while it's still wet. You can use it as a background and then put words over it like I did on one of my projects last week. This one I've used a lot, so it's not super sticky. Okay, or we can use our inks and put it on a pillow or something really cute, or you can just use bits and pieces of it like I'm going to do right now. So I've got my Couture teal, and I've got this one down, so I'm just going to put some snowflakes all over the place. I'm going to use a couple of different snowflakes, so it's not all the same. I'm going to put one on each of the points, I guess you would call it, of the snowflake. I never know what to call it. And then probably a couple littler ones inside. Let's go back and do this one. Super quick to make these projects. And you know, this is a Dollar Tree surface, so the surface itself cost me $1. So this is a very, very economical little project. I've got a antique, oh, what would you call it? Not a cabinet. It's kind of a cabinet that I have by my front door, and it's got 2 cupboards, and then in the middle of the cupboards it's got a couple of drawers, and I'm just hanging these from the knobs of the doors. Did I say 2 cupboards? It has 2 doors. Sometimes when I'm talking and doing something, I just don't get the word. Well, even when I'm not doing something, I don't get the words out right. One more of these. I'll do this one. I need to get a little bit more paste. I'm not worried about trying to get this down adhered or whatever to the thing while I'm doing this, just because it's such a small area. Now I'm just kind of using my squeegee as I go to do that. I'm just going to put some little ones periodically all over the place. Make sure I get that. There we go. I don't want to have them look too symmetrical. That's kind of hard to tell when you're covering things up. I think I'll just put another one right here. All right. Excuse me. Something went down the wrong track. All right, I'm trying to get this teal off of my hands. I'm gonna grab my bright white. This might work, it might not, because I didn't paint this with the bright white. So it might be a little bit different color white, but we're gonna try it. And just cover up that boo-boo on the O. Yeah, it's not gonna cover it. So after I get done, I will get my paint out because it's on the other side of the room, and I will just touch that up, and then that's all it takes. All right, now, because the way I'm hanging it, you can't see the back at the same time that you're looking at the front. Like if I was hanging it where it would rotate, like on a, I don't know, on a porch or something like that, I wouldn't do this. But I'm going to take this, I'm going to turn it around, and since in Montana, Valentine's Day comes during the winter, just dropped my fuzzing cloth, I'm going to keep this snowflake, and I'm going to do something for Valentine's Day. Trying to decide if I want to do this again. I think I do. Ah, it's dried enough that it's just giving him that slight distressed look. Very good. I'll just go around and distress the edges. Just give it that vintage look. Doesn't take very long to do this. I'll tell you what took a long time. Painting all of these edges seemed like it took forever, but I didn't really want the wood look to be coming through on the sides, so I kind of got a little bit here when I was doing the other side, but that's okay. A little bit darker, but you know what? Age spots don't always look the same, as we know on our faces, right? Well, maybe some of you don't know. Just put a little bit, there we go. Okay, and now, let me wipe that off again just to make sure. I'm going to get my, I like sparkle, so we're going to use Shimmer Crimson. And I'm going to do, on this one, I'm going to do Love Brings Us Home. This one is an older transfer, probably from 2 or 3 years ago. I have one of the current ones that, oh, yeah, it's not sticking. So I'm going to wait and do that because I will spray it with some spray adhesive. It's just old enough and been used enough that it's not going to do what I want it to. And since I did not seal this surface, I don't want to do that yet. Okay, so I'm going to use Love is Spoken Here, and that is from a set with a lot of transfers that go with our house cutouts. But I'm going to steal it from that, not use it on a house cutout, and use it here. Now, this is a surface. Now, if I were to spray seal it, seal it really good, I could then wipe off the designs and reuse it for something else. But because it's $1, I don't care. I'm just going to use it for one thing. If I want to use this for something else, I would just go buy another one. But since they're snowflakes, I also am not going to use this year round. So I'm not even worried about being able to take this off and put something else on. All right. Make sure the top is at the top. I'm going to put this right here. And open up my shimmer. Look at that, isn't that pretty? Love the shimmers. People ask me what my favorite color is too, and I don't know, I just like color. So I love the reds, I love the teals, I just love color. I love purple. I did, oh, the ice skate one. I still have to go back and see if I did remember to post the picture of the ice skate picture that I did last week. And it's just black, white, and a little bit of green with some greenery. And I walk by that every day and go, oh, I just love that. It's very simple. All right. I'm just going to pull that up. And there you go. But I'm not done because I need to put some hearts all over the place. So I have all kinds of hearts. I've got this kind, I've got this kind, this kind. I don't think I'm going to do these big ones, but I'm going to do several of these little kinds, just kind of all over. So I've even got, I love this, the heart, the house with the heart in it. I love that. I have one that I have up all season long that has something like that on it. I turn it around. It's a surface like a bistro sign, so I can turn it around. And so I have that design on some of the time, and then I turn it around for seasonal stuff. All right, let me do these. What did I do? There it is. And then I will move them around. Well, I'll just do this before I move them. This is so easy, you guys, that, I mean, we had, at the youth center, we had 5-year-olds doing it with no problem. And they love it. So don't say, oh, I'm not creative, I can't do that. I gotta lift this up. There we go. Because you can. If they can, you can. Of course, they're not as afraid of failing as we adults are, right? Sometimes we are our own worst enemies. I think, nope, I'm gonna wait for that to dry. The shimmer colors take longer to dry just because they have this metallic component to them. The chalk paste will dry in just, it seems like seconds. But the shimmers take a little bit longer. So if I'm gonna get creative by putting a couple hearts next to each other, I just need to wait a little bit. Let's see, I'm gonna do this one over here. And I think down here too. Get a little bit more. Sorry, I'm blocking your view. Okay. And then I'm going to put some just scattered all over out here. I don't want to overdo it, but I don't want it to be too, whoops. Well, that's okay. That just looks distressed. Sometimes when I'm talking and doing things, I don't notice little things that I would notice normally. Let me take that off and see. I think I need another little one. Oops. Here. And here. And again, I'm not getting... See, I'm telling you guys, if you're doing it, watch to make sure that everything's showing through. But I kind of like the distressed look. Okay, now, I don't think this one is dry. So I'm going to bring, let's see, which one is this? I'm going to bring another one here. And just kind of make, I don't know if you can see that. Let me see. Just kind of made them overlapping each other. And I'm going to do that over here also. That's dry. Just to make it a little more interesting. There we go. So then I took a Dollar Tree design and made it work for 2 different months, January and February. Pretty cool, huh? All right. So my other, oh, here, I'm gonna, where'd that go? Stay cozy. Yeah, I lost it. Oh, I already did. Oh, I was going to do, boy, I'm losing my mind. I was going to do Love Brings Us Home. So let me show you what I can do. We'll see if it works. Let me find my Pixie spray. It's like an adhesive for stencils. I'm going to spray this. And then I'm just going to let it sit for about a minute. Oh, did I get it all? I didn't get it all. There we go. Oh, yes, it's sticky because it's on my hands. So I'm just going to talk to you about what we do with our paste. So this one, it's not as creamy. Like you'll see this, it looks very creamy. This one is one from the year that I had no time to craft whatsoever. And it dehydrated so that it was actually solid. So I just took some distilled water, and we use distilled water. Let me put this up so there we go. We use distilled water because tap water can have things in it that will mold or mildew in this, and we don't want that. So I just kept putting about that much distilled water, letting it sit for a couple of days, and then coming in. And initially, as it softened, I had to chop it, and then as it liquefied a little bit more, I just kept stirring and stirring and stirring until finally I got it to a workable consistency. Still kind of lumpy and not creamy like a new one would be, but I've been using it and it works just fine. So if you are out there and you have Chalk Couture and you have it dehydrating, don't throw it away. You don't have to. It takes a little bit of time. There is a way of doing it in the microwave, but I tried that once and I don't know if I just wasn't patient enough and put the microwave on too long, but I, my whole bottle, I could still use the product, but I'm like, okay, I'm not liking that. Then when we're done, boy, let me get this glue off my hand. When we're done each day, we wipe off we get all of the extra back into the jar. We wipe off the rim, make sure that there's nothing on the lid, spritz a little bit of dehydrated water. Now that one makes sense. Oh my goodness. Distilled water on it to keep it from drying out, and put the lid back on. Had I been doing that the whole time, if I had taken the time to just open all my jars, put a little bit of dehydrated water in every couple of months or something, they wouldn't have dehydrated, but I was so busy I didn't even think about that. Okay, black gets all over everything. So let me get this off, and I think that has been sitting long enough. We're going to see if it's going to work. It may be that I end up messing up this side, which means I'll just give it a light sanding and paint it again. But, okay. Now I'm going to put it down so you can see. The hole is up here. Going to make sure that I get all the stuff off that keeps trying. Oh, this is the snowflake that's bowed. You can see how it's not sitting. So this is going to be a little bit more challenging for me because I'm going to have to hold it down, but not that bad. All right, so I think it's sticking. So I'm just going to do the same thing. I'm being very basic, just red and white. I could, if I wanted, add some pinks and other colors in, but I'm just being very basic with this. What I put over my couch on a bigger frame or a bigger surface, I may get a little bit more adventurous later on when I'm getting ready to do that, but we'll see. I'm going to scrape off all the extra, put it right back into the jar. Waste not, want not, right? Okay, let me put this over here. And then just pick this up and look, see, it worked great. So, oh, I did not distress the outside, did I? All right, let's get that. It just adds just a little bit. If you haven't tried Chalk Couture and you would like to, this is not coming off very well. Let's see. I have little kits. Let's see, I had one sitting here. Do you ever do that? You get going and you cover things up. I have little, they call them chalkable chips, and I have little packets of paste and a littler squeegee than what I use. And I can definitely send you that little, I call it my trial kit, primey kit. And then you can just try it. You can use the chockable chip. You can put a magnet on the back and put it on your fridge. You can put some felt on the bottom and use it as a coaster. They're just kind of fun. You can, if you want, I can punch a hole in it and you can put a string through it and hang it somewhere. They make really cute Christmas ornaments at Christmas time. Just let me know, and let me know if you want a hole or not. And private message me your contact information and I can get one of those out to you. Almost done with this part. Okay. And now I'm just going to, once again, put, if I can grab them, put hearts on the edges and scattered throughout. And if I were doing this without talking and all of that kind of stuff, where I was really focused, it would take me less than 10 minutes to do this. I think that's all of that one I'm going to do. I'm going to put that one on a couple, and then I have something going on with my eye. I get these things every once in a while. It's like a cold in my eye. I think I start, and it happens when I start to feel like I have a cold. Oh, look at that. Let's see if I can get that off. I didn't realize I had some. Oh, because I set that transfer right on this and got some paste on the back. So let me see. That's the problem with not sealing a surface. I should probably always seal my surfaces. It looks like it's coming up pretty well. I'm just going to keep that one part. Almost looks like an arrow going through the heart. So I'll just leave that. Okay, there we go. All right, then I'm going to, these probably are not quite dry. I'm going to grab my little drying thing. If you use a hair dryer, you can use the low setting to dry. If you're going to put something close to something that's still wet, you can just dry it, and then when you put the transfer, it won't stick. Okay, they're dry enough. I kind of like when I have two hearts together like that. Oh, well, I put those too close together. Put them almost on top of each other. There. It'll work. Okay, so now I've got one side for January and one side for February. Alrighty, thanks for watching, everyone, and I will talk to you later.